Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because we're going to cover a lot today. And this could unwind very quickly, okay? Very fast. And there's a ton of stuff to cover in the economy, business news, and this is just awesome stuff right now. But before I get into it, please take a second. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Join the email list. And today we have a sponsor, Ageless Multi-Collagen, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But let's get into it. This video took a little bit of a turn this morning because there's something that came out. Sometimes you get these gems that are just absolute solid gold, and I got one this morning. And First Republic Bank is a joke, okay? It's an absolute unmitigated disaster that we are being caught holding the bag for. And, they get bailed out. All the rich people get taken care of like it's nothing. And we get caught, with their bad debt and everything else and paying, for their mistakes. Now, the best part of this, two things, is that the Securities Exchange Commission steps forward on Friday and says, hey, we want to talk to you guys because we've just realized that certain executives are selling stock early and, prior to the demise of the bank. And it looks kind of suspicious. And Michael Raffler and other executives there sold positions, in January and March and up until the bank going down for the count. And what's interesting about that is that it looks incredibly suspicious, like they knew something with insider information. So and I know we all sit there and go, oh, big deal, what's going to happen? Nothing happened to the people at Silicon Valley Bank, and they did the exact same thing. You're right. Then, lo and behold, we get the white knight right now, which this is funny. The white knight of all white knights, Elizabeth Warren, Senator Elizabeth Warren, steps forward and she wrote the most amazing letter, okay, to Mr. Raffler. And I read the whole thing, and you have to read this because this covers everything, dates, times, follow through with everything from, she's blaming the company, first of all, the bank, for complete mismanagement with how they handled depositors' money, how they had special deals with friends, and how they gave 1% loans and special offerings to rich people, knowing that the bank was in trouble. And then she does this beautiful timeline where she goes through the dates and, what about this? What about this date? Did you know that the bank was in trouble on this date when you sold these shares? When did you get news about this? I mean, guys, it really is fantastic. It's 5 pages, and it's below in the video description. But as I do this little walk and talk with this beautiful background, I'm going to put these 5 pages up for you. So this is unbelievable because it covers absolutely everything. But once again, a bank made special deals with their club, with the private club, with all the rich people that you and I are not a member of. And the problem with this is that, they knew the bank was in trouble. They knew the bank was losing money, and they sold shares. All these people did. Okay, that's a crime, guys. It's insider trading, insider information. They knew the bank was in trouble. As I look into my own business, and one that we are contemplating going public at a different level and raising money from investors and things like this, the rules and the attorneys and the sit downs that I have had have been unbelievable. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. Certain things I can't talk about here, because I'm in the know. You can't do it. You can't, oh, I'll just sell my stock. You just can't do it. And my niece is marrying a guy who's brilliant, and he has been CFO of 3 different companies, and he sat down and laid out how he couldn't sell shares in the companies he was working for at certain times because there was ongoing potential purchases for the company was going to get taken over, there was news that came out, so it gave him windows of like, okay, and he's the CFO, so he knew. So Michael Raffler and these other people in the know, they knew exactly what was going on. And for them to act like it's no big deal to sell this stock, Good for Elizabeth Warren for this, because man, oh man, oh man, this is ridiculous that this was done. So if you didn't get to read it up here, it'll be included in the video description below. But I know there's some people that watch this on, their TVs and computers and things like that and don't click on stuff. But, bravo to Elizabeth Warren for this one, because this one's really good, but it's incredibly thorough. And enough is enough with these banks doing this to us, because this is just the beginning of this right now. Absolutely just the beginning of this. You're going to see so many more problems like this, and you haven't seen anything yet. The regional banks that are having a problem is going to happen, okay? Going to happen. New Hampshire, I got a story sent to me that I haven't been able to verify yet, and that was that the ATMs are having a $200 and $300 limit for the entire state. You guys heard that? Anybody else in New Hampshire heard that? Share that with me if that's the case, because it should be based on your own personal financial situation, and everybody's different. Some people it makes sense, and it doesn't for others. Now, one thing that happened during COVID was when they issued stimulus checks for people, Bank of America, for example, changed their policy around to when you used to be able to put a deposit in the bank, like a check in the bank, they would give you $300 instant credit at Bank of America. Bank of America stopped doing that, but they said, wait a second, if you're overdrawn and you're upside down and you're not doing well right now, we're going to give you the credit for the stimulus immediately. So it gave people that were totally upside down, rewarded them and gave them the $300 or the $1,000, whatever they got, with their stimulus checks. So kind of interesting, okay? But there's a lot more to cover on this. Let's talk about our sponsor, Ageless Multi-Collagen. Collagen has been touted as the modern day fountain of youth, and for good reason. As we get older, our bodies lose the ability to produce collagen naturally. So what you need to do is supplement your collagen, and it will help you with your skin health. It'll make it look better. It'll help you with your nail health and with your hair health. Now, if you use the link healthwithdan.com below, you can save up to 51% on the purchase of Ageless Multi-Collagen. The advantage to BioTrust is that they've been around for a long time. They donate a free meal to kids when you place an order for Ageless Multi-Collagen to feed hungry children. So a great company all the way around. Take a look at Ageless Multi-Collagen today. I started using it. It's tasteless, it's odorless, it's fantastic. I put it in my coffee in the mornings, and I can tell a huge difference with it. Try it today. It's 5 different collagens from 4 natural sources. And again, it's very inexpensive, great way to work on your hair health, nail health, and skin health. Take a look at healthwithdan.com today. Now there's a lot more to cover. And the Jefferies Group is a large fund, and they are saying that the liquidity in the financial markets are going to be a problem through 2024, and that people need to understand that this is not going to go away. And what the Fed has done to try to quell inflation is only making matters worse, and it's not going to be solved anytime soon. We were just told yesterday that we added 253,000 jobs, and the stock market goes crazy and everything's great. And then unemployment dropped to 3.4%. No. You guys believe that? Seriously. Do you believe that? No way, guys. Okay? Largest percentage of males between 25 and 40 that are not working since the Great Depression, guys. There's that right now. And you're supposed to believe that unemployment is at this miraculously low number, which is insane right now. King Charles in his coronation, here's one thing that's fascinating. When the Queen died, he inherited $500 million in assets. Now that was interesting, to say the least. But she's got assets in an asset portfolio worth $42 billion right now. $42 billion. That is unbelievable, guys. Okay? So he makes money hand over fist, being the king. Prince William, he makes a ton. And again, Prince Harry's an imbecile. What an idiot to give this up. What are you going to do? Seriously, after this happens and he becomes king, what is Harry going to do? Seriously, he's got nothing. Seriously, he's got nothing. He has nothing. I mean, his royal nothing. You know what I mean? Remember that. So share your thoughts on this stuff so far, because it's amazing to think about. There's no tradition anymore. And, in the UK and in the monarchy, whether you believe in this or not, hasn't been, a crowning of someone new in 70 years, guys, 70. Odds are this is not going to happen in our lifetime, you know, is, ridiculous. There's a great joke, too, that if you are the side piece, there's always hope that you could be queen. Remember that, okay? So, catch up for that one. But good old Camilla, okay? Okay, there's hope, ladies, okay? To expand on the job numbers and how ridiculous it is, they were anticipating there's going to be 180,000 jobs added. So the 253 was huge, but they also did all these warnings about how bad the economy is and how we're going to get through this and don't worry about what the Fed's doing, is going to work. And it's unbelievable all the way around. Next thing is my favorite billionaire, Bill Ackman. He's talking about regional banks right now and saying that no regional bank can survive under the current conditions, and you're going to see people uh, go out of business left and right, and that time is running out for the banks. So who do you believe, guys? Who do you believe? This is going to be a consolidation of the banks like we've never seen it before, and you're going to see this collapse in such a way that they're going to take over everything. And now I've called for people to say nationalize the banks and have that taken over, by the government, and have them swoop in. This is a mess, guys. And what you're going to have happen, and you're going to find out with your own bank, is that they have all these losses that are unrealized that they haven't told us about. And Bill Ackman's right. There's a lot of banks that are completely upside down that we don't know anything about right now. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? TurboTax. TurboTax was offered, hey, remember, you can file for free. File with TurboTax. How much is it? It's free. It's free. Well, it wasn't free. And here's the thing about this is that, if COVID taught us anything, it taught us one thing, that there's government programs out there. It taught me this too, for everything, to get your rent paid, get your utilities paid, help with, everything from schooling to your dental work to everything. You can find grants and programs for everything. But there's free tax help. If you make, if you're a certain income levels, you get free tax help. It's absolutely free. And they will help you file it through a professional. And these are retired accountants. These are people that know their stuff to do this. But TurboTax, what they did was they advertised this as free and then got sued because some lawyer found out that his nephew or child, whoever it was, hey, what do you mean you paid for that? I thought that was free. Okay, well, that just started this class action lawsuit, and now there's a settlement. Low end is $29, and the high end is $85 that you can get as a refund from this. So, again, it wasn't free. It's not free. If you know of anybody that used TurboTax, have them fill this out because they can get this money back. And that's the type of thing, is they get these stories out there. They do the bare minimum to notify people, because they're not going to say, hey, John, you're entitled to a full $85. They're not going to do that. You've got to reach out to these people to get this money. So share your thoughts on that and let people know about that too. For everybody talking about how great employment is, there's a list of the worst states with the highest unemployment. So you've got states like Missouri that have high unemployment, Oklahoma, things like that. But take a look at the top 10 states that are below. The CEO of Kellogg's, he steps forward and he says, there's no recession. Things aren't bad right now. Now, Kellogg's, these people are horrible at shrinkflation right now. And if you guys buy any Kellogg's products, if your cornflakes or your Special K or whatever, your Raisin Bran, whatever they sell, okay, I don't think they sell Raisin Bran, but whatever their cereals are, the CEO said the American consumer is very resilient, and they're fighting off the recession. You know, guys, people have to eat. Okay, so to sit there and to say that they're fighting off recession because they want to buy breakfast cereal, no, they want to buy cheaper breakfast cereal. That's what it is right now. People are spending less money than ever right now. People are trying to save in every area that they can. And the problem with it is that I'm telling you guys, I could show you pictures week after week after week where somebody had one cereal box and then they bring the next one and it's smaller, the next one, and it's the same brand. And look, Dan, it's down to 2 ounces here, 4 ounces here, and they're charging the same amount of money. That's the shrinkflation. And yes, it's less and less and less. And the worst thing are the potato chips and the crackers. And when you go to buy these, you find out that um, there's half the bag is empty. It's ridiculous. And that's what we're experiencing. But the American consumer is very resilient, and they're fighting off the recession. Nonsense. Guy's an imbecile. But read that article below, and remember, there's just what the Fed is doing is working right now. So it's funny on these rich areas like this. That's Bay Island, and they're adding a massive remodel to that house, man. Wow, wow, wow. That is huge. Again, that island, there are no cars there. Only way to get there is carry it across this bridge and carts, and that's it. And, so imagine what that would cost. I have to carry everything in. Oh, drive it to my house and build my patio cover. No, carry it in. Okay? So that would be a fortune to do that. But the rich are not affected by that. Just like that article I talked about yesterday. Right now, in the first quarter of 2023, New York airports are up 32% on air travelers. 32%. LaGuardia, JFK are up. Now, one thing that's fascinating is that there's another article below talking about how if you want to fly internationally this year, it's going to be more expensive than ever. It's going to be pre-2019 levels in price, and you need to book it now and plan on paying an astronomical fee. Now, I talk to everybody, friends, business people, colleagues, relatives. Hey, what's it like when you travel? What was your airfare like? Do you get a deal? And everybody's paying more for that. But people are not doing what they did before. They're not traveling and staying at the expensive locations or staying with friends, Airbnbs, things like that to save money. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But they're talking about international travel is going to be up this year, and you're seeing, air travel for New York airports are up substantially. Which it's funny. I'm going to get people that are going to write me and say, "Hey Dan, see, there's no recession. Everything's good. Everything's up. Everybody's spending money. All is well." Okay. Look at that construction on that expensive piece of property, Dan. Everything's good. Everything is good. I love this street. Doesn't have the beach. The beach is on the other side of the highway behind me, the ocean, This is the bay. But let me know what you guys are thinking about all this stuff so far. That Elizabeth Warren letter, bravo to her. Okay, I thought I'd never say such a thing, but Elizabeth Warren killed it with that letter, because these people with these banks think that we're stupid, and they have taken advantage of us and fleeced us so much, and just did what they wanted to do. Lent their friends money. Oh yeah, we'll give you a 1% loan. At times when no one could get that, and these people gave it out like it was nothing. And then now they sold stock, and yeah, we don't have to worry about paying our bills. She's going to be the thorn in their side, which is good. I'm glad somebody's going to do that. So let me know what you think. And again, I cannot believe I'm saying this. Okay? Let me know. Now, the auto industry has had its lumps lately, and the EV industry is going to have a real difficult time right now, and they anticipate that this is going to be a very, very telling and tough quarter for the EV car makers. Plus, this week, great story out of Reuters, we're going to see all these companies that are going to announce their financials right now. So Lucid, Rivian, Lordstown, uh, Arrival. Gosh, I'm missing one of them. Lordstown. Anyways, they're all in trouble right now. They're all burning through cash. Here's the thing that I'm super familiar with startups, and that when I was having my medical conferences and we would, have these startups, you get people that all they think about when they start a business and they start a venture is, I need money. I need to get more money. I need to get as much as I can, more and more and more. And I have a lot of people that can help people raise money, people that can teach you how to raise money, all that stuff. But these companies have gone public. They're all public companies now, and they are burning through cash like you've never seen before at such a quick pace. It would scare you if you really put pen to paper on this stuff. But hey, BMW just announced their new EV car. It's going to be fantastic, but there's problems with these batteries. There's problems with them catching on fire. Once they catch on fire, there's a big problem with that. And one thing that we're seeing that's wild is even these e-bikes are starting to crash. In Miami-Dade, 2 people sent me the story where an e-bike crashed into a store and caught it on fire. No, it's going to be problematic. And don't you care that you can't get parts for it? I had a car when I was married. My ex-wife, hey, a guy I work with is selling this car really cheap. We bought it and it was a nightmare because we couldn't get parts for it. I forgot the name of it. I should try to remember that one. But it was, a spin-off of GM or one of those lovely people. But anyways, this is what's going to happen to these EV car companies, and it's just a matter of time. So what else? File this under criminality. Kia and Hyundai have dealers around the country. It's not just 1 or 2 bad apples that are selling Kia cars to unsuspecting buyers. Good luck. Yeah, you'll get the car insured, and they cannot get insurance for the car because of the theft problems. Kia and Hyundai have certain cars, and I found this out. You can take basically a thumb drive and override the starter with it. Very simple, but if you have, the criminal mind, they can show you how to start your car without, using the key fob and things like that. And it's made it so that the insurance companies don't want to insure these cars because of the theft. But these dealerships got a great story below about how they're just telling people, oh yeah, no problem. And they're unsuspecting, and I need a car, okay, the price is right, payment's good, and they're sticking these people with that. That is horrible right now that's happening. Brazil, people sent me this story all over, and that was that Brazil's current interest rate in the country is 13.75%, and inflation is sky high, and the new president, there's nothing that can be done about it, and he's blaming the old president, and of course, got to fix what's going on, and nobody's responsible for anything that they do. It's always somebody else's fault. But Brazil's having major trouble with this. When you hear about companies that have had financial problems or they're projecting financial problems, does that concern you? Me, it does. Now, first one, Qualcomm, San Diego-based chip maker, huge behemoth. During the dot-com days, man, I remember this company, stock would go up and up and up, and the employees, so many became millionaires. That's what made me get into the company and learn about the company back then, is that, well, this company's just doubling in price and going up and up and up and up and up. Anyways, they just made a prediction that their smartphone chips sales are going to be off a ton, and it's going to take years for it to come back, and not expected to come back anytime soon. That is concerning and alarming, to say the least. But again, we just heard from Samsung last week talking about how their profits were down 95% for this same area. So, smartphones are off an absolute ton right now. Next one is USAA, the insurance company. Think about this. This company, San Antonio based, has made money hand over fist forever. I've got relatives that are like, oh, that's the greatest company. You got to have your insurance with them. They get a rebate check every year based on claims and no claims and things like that. They love the company. They just had their first loss in 100 years. 100 years they've made a profit. Okay? They just lost $1.2 billion. Last year, they made $3.3 billion. Okay? So that should concern you right there. You've got USAA that's upside down, that's not making money right now. Okay? They blame inflation, they blame interest rates, they blame the financial environment as a whole as being a problem, and that hopefully they're going to be able to turn it around. But their first negative year in 100 years. No, they're not going out of business, nothing like that. It's just they had a tough year, and that's wild. But that is the sign of the times. Qualcomm, that's the sign of the times. Samsung, same thing. But let me know what you think about this. And let me know if you guys have insurance with them, because I've got a big audience. And again, I have a relative that loves that place, thinks it's the greatest thing ever. I'm going to finish this video with these last couple stories. And Burger King. When was the last time you ate at a Burger King? I had to think about this when I read the story. And for me, it was about 6 months ago. I was really hungry, and I was in Vegas, of all places. And, okay, yeah, there's a Burger King. Let's go there. I'll just throw something down real quick. The place was a mess because the lobby was closed during the middle of the day, during lunch hour. It was noon, okay? And I was the only car in line for this place. And they didn't have the staff to work and run the inside. They didn't have any customers either, so I guess that makes sense. Burger King just announced that they're going to close 400 stores across the country. 400 between now and the end of 2023. So, sign of the times, guys. Burger King is not doing well. Final story, and you can read this yourself. There's a woman that sells pictures of her feet online. She makes $5,000 a month from her house selling pictures of her feet. And I'm happy to say it's not my daughter. So, there's that. You can read the story below. There's a will, there's a way, guys. Dirty socks. People like to buy her dirty socks too, which is crazy. Okay? Anyways, please don't forget to like the video. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And Christmas in May. Details coming shortly. Email me, hello@iallegedly. And don't forget to sign up for the email list, because that's how it's getting announced first. Okay? Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon.